got caught cheating because of a stupid kiss cam. A mutual friend saw it and told my husband. Where should I start from? I have been crying for days now. I was caught with my AP by someone whom I thought was my friend, and she didn't think twice before revealing my secret to my husband. Now, my husband doesn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. Hi Reddit, my name is Sidon. I am a 29-year-old fashion designer. The name of my husband is Fernando. He is a 30-year-old realtor. My husband and I have been married for 5 years. Fernando and I have been friends right from college. We started up as friends, and from there we entered into a relationship. I have known Fernando for 9 years, but we've been married for 5 years. Fernando is a nice and lovely guy who knows what he wants and goes for it. In our 4 years of friendship and 5 years of marriage, Fernando has been there for me. With him, I got to know that true love actually exists when you find the right person. With the few guys that have dated in the past, Fernando seemed to be different. He treated me with nothing but love and respect. And now all I could pay him back was cheating? Oh no, I really messed up. I messed everything up, and I admit that I've wronged him deeply. I can't let go of my husband, not now or ever. Guys, I'm here so you all can advise me on what to do. Right now, my husband wouldn't want to speak with me or have anything to do with me. I have not been myself since the last few days. I have turned Fernando into a ruthless psycho. When he got to know about the news of me cheating on him and even had the audacity to kiss my affair partner in public, he didn't spare either me or my partner. Fernando showed me the other side of him that I didn't know ever existed. He knew how much I hate to be embarrassed in public and how much I hate to be a center of attraction for the wrong reasons. He knew all of these, and he didn't hesitate to publicly embarrass me in front of people. He threw me out of the house and sold our property and my belongings off without my consent. Not only that, guys, in order to get back at me, my husband started dating one of my high school friends, Kate, who told my husband about me kissing a guy at the stadium. Kate got so close to Fernando immediately she heard about us getting a divorce. Kate was in fact the one that convinced my husband to sell our property. Not only that, guys, I learned that Fernando and Kate are no longer in the country. All what I have built for years with everything I had in me is being taken away and enjoyed by another woman. Fernando moved on so quickly, and the most painful part of it was with my high school friend. I honestly didn't see that coming. Until the divorce is finalized, Fernando and I are still legally married, right? But he has started dating my friend without even giving it time. Sometimes I wonder if he had had eyes for Kate all these years. I mean, I don't understand the fact that he would literally move on so quickly. It hurts me so bad, and I'm in pain about it. Right now, guys, I have lost everything. I no longer have anything good to do for myself. Most of my clients are on my neck. The money my clients deposited into my account for me to get their orders done was all swapped out by my husband. I'm into a huge debt, and most of these clients are not even ready to sympathize with me. I have been given a deadline to either do a refund or something worse than that would come for me. Guys, at this point, I really don't know what to do. Fernando and Kate have blocked me on all platforms. I really don't know how to reach out to them. My money's all wrapped out, and I don't have any penny left. The most painful part of this was when I went to my store a few days ago. After Fernando threw me out and wrapped my account, I decided to go to my store and gather my life back. But I got the biggest shock of my life. Guys, you all wouldn't believe it. My store was empty. All the customers' clothes I made and the fabrics I newly got for my clients were all gone. The store was empty. Immediately, I fell on my knees and cried bitterly. I was in so much pain and was helpless. I brought all of these upon myself. Ever since that visit to my store, I have been weeping profusely. Right now, I don't even know where to start. My clients are on my neck. Some of them have even threatened to call the cops. My staff also have been asking for their salaries. I can't even pay my bills, let alone pay my staff. Everything is just messy and making me lose my mind. I admit I cheated and honestly regret cheating on my husband. I wish he could really just give me a chance to rewrite all wrongs. I really want to get back with my husband and want us to live like we used to. My insatiable wants made me go into something that isn't forgivable. I had all the comfort I needed and the husband that any woman would literally pray to have, but I messed it all up for something that didn't last long. My home and marriage is broken. I broke the bond of friendship between me and my husband. As a result of my stupidity, my life, marriage, and career is ruined. My husband has severed all ties with me and ran off with my life savings with Kate, leaving me with nothing. My infidelity hasn't even been months. It all started when I traveled out of town to get some new restock for my store. It was there I met this handsome-looking young man, Walter. Walter and I met at the same store where I usually come to get some new fabrics. It was my first time seeing someone like him there. In my few years of going to that particular store, I've never encountered him. Walter, for a strange reason, also came to get the same fabric that I brought me there. He wanted to use it for his birthday photo shoot. It's a long story, guys, and I wouldn't want to bore you all with all of that. But long story short, Walter and I started talking right there from the store. It was as if we had known each other for years. We really started on a good note because we both had the same interest in everything. We exchanged contacts to talk more and also get to know each other. My trip was to last for a few days, but I ended up spending 2 weeks. This was because the same fabric Walter and I were looking for was out of restock, and we couldn't get it as at the time I went. And so, I had to delay my trip back home. I informed my husband about it, and he was okay with it. Walter and I hung out within this time of us waiting for the fabric. We started up as friends, and along the line things got heated up and we started dating. I know that you all will call me names. Yes, I accept. I shouldn't have gone out with another man while I was married. I didn't hide my marital status from Walter. He was fully aware, and he was the one that wanted closure. Of course, I paid no attention to all his advances. During our hangout, he would literally try to kiss me, but I turned him down on several occasions. But the one I couldn't resist was when we went out on a date at a nearby beach not too far from the hotel I booked. The atmosphere at the beach was amazing, and we had a nice time together. It was right there at the beach Walter asked me out, and I couldn't resist but to say yes. Guys, looking back now, I shouldn't have given infidelity a room in my life or marriage. The yes that I said to Walter has cost me so much. I wish I could turn back the hands of time and rewrite that stupid mistake. So guys, I said yes to Walter, and that was where what started as friendship turned into a full-blown affair. At some point, I forgot what even brought me there in the first place. I even forgot that I was married. I was carried away by the feeling of the moment. Just a few days of meeting Walter looked like he was my soulmate that I had been looking for. He was just too perfect for me. Walter and I got intimate at any slightest opportunity. At least it was one of the things I needed at that point, considering the fact that I was alone on the trip and needed company. We had a lot of fun moments together. The few weeks we spent together was memorable, and I couldn't wish for anything more. Walter was at that time into a relationship, but it was a long-distance one with his partner. We both discussed it, and we were fine with it. So guys, like I said earlier, it took a week before the particular fabric Walter and I both waited for to arrive. We got an email from the store, and we headed back to get it. The arrival of the fabric was to be the end of my stay there, right? But guess what, guys? Walter and I both decided to stay back a little longer. At that time, I gave my husband another excuse of my flight being delayed and how I needed to reschedule. Fernando didn't doubt me. In fact, he was angry about how much stress I was going through. Little did he know that I was cheating on him with a random guy I'd just met. My few weeks of staying out of town were amazing. I needed to cool my head off from the stresses I went through at that time. Walter was the perfect person for me to ease my stress. After staying for an extra 1 week and 3 days, Walter and I both decided to head back home because I needed to attend to my store, and he also wanted to prepare for his birthday photo shoot. We also planned on doing it again, but at that time we would go on vacation together to another city instead. So guys, after a few weeks of returning back home, Walter and I weren't able to see each other physically. We only chatted on the phone because we planned on meeting together on his birthday. A few weeks later, Walter 30's birthday party came. It was an all-white party. The party was filled with his family, friends, and colleagues. At that time, Walter's girlfriend couldn't attend because of the distance, and so Walter introduced me to a few friends of his as his girlfriend. I was surprised by why he did that, but then again I was happy he acknowledged and recognized me in front of his friends. I made sure to look around to see if I knew any familiar faces, but none. Honestly, I was skeptical about attending the party in the first place. In order to get out of the house, I had to lie to Fernando that I was going to deliver some goods to my client. That was the only lie I could think of at that moment. At the party, I was nervous. A lot of thought kept running through my mind. I was asking myself, what if Fernando just shows up here, or someone that knew him would tell him about it? All of these were just getting on me and made me nervous. But at some point, I became relaxed because I had Walter by my side and told me not to worry about anything. The party was interesting. I won't lie, guys. I had a nice time. Walter really knows how to throw a good party. Everything was arranged to perfection. The party was to last till dawn, but I left there early because I didn't want to keep my husband waiting or give him a chance to suspect anything. During the time I stayed at the party, I made sure not to drink alcohol. I'm not so good at handling my liquor and also didn't want to smell of alcohol before heading back home. I explained to Walter why I was leaving so early. He understood and didn't try to stop me. When I got home, I met my husband watching one of his favorite TV shows. It was past 9 p.m. and he didn't ask why I stayed outside for that long. I was glad he didn't because I didn't know what I would have told him then. So guys, I went upstairs and showered and retired for the night. I was so tired that I couldn't join my husband in the living room. Weeks went by, Walter and I didn't see each other. The last time we saw each other was at his birthday party. He traveled out of the town for a work trip. At that time, I kept looking forward to the day he would come back. The trip was to last for 3 weeks. At that time, it felt as if a part of me was missing. Nothing seemed to interest me, and I got upset at any slight provocation. My husband noticed a change in my behavior and asked me if everything was okay. But I told him everything was fine and that I was just being stressed out. Fernando advised me to take a break from work and go on vacation if I wanted to, but I told him I could manage. My husband didn't know that all of this was because I missed a man, my affair partner. I felt a little bit of guilt and shame at the same time. How shameless I was back then. So guys, the 3 weeks of Walter trip came to an end, and in order to make it up to me, he proposed that we go to the stadium and watch a basketball game together. It was a great idea, and I agreed to go with him. At that time, Walter's favorite fan club was playing. He was a lover of basketball and even practiced it in his free time. I was very excited to go because at that time my husband was out of town. It was the perfect opportunity for me. There was no need to lie before going out, and he wouldn't even suspect anything while he was away. The day of the basketball game came and we went there together. Walter and I arrived there early. We didn't want to sit at a good spot where we would be comfortable and easy for us anytime we wanted to leave. The stadium was all filled up. A lot of people came to watch the game. It was really fun and exciting. After a few hours of our arrival, the game kicked off. Walter couldn't control his excitement. He kept on cheering at the top of his voice for his fan club. Anytime the players missed a ball, Walter yelled so loud. It even drew the attention of people, and they were making side comments. It was so frustrating that I had to calm him down and tell him how people were staring at us. I managed to calm him down, and we continued watching the game. A few minutes later, they took a break to return for the second half. Walter and I spent a few minutes talking about how the game started off and cracked jokes together. Not long after, music started playing. Guys, you all wouldn't believe it. It was the kiss cam. Everyone started cheering eagerly, waiting for the couples it would select. That day, I was excited to really get to see what a kiss cam actually looked like. I have heard about it, but haven't witnessed it before. So guys, the kiss cam scanned the crowd, and I was eagerly waiting to see the lucky couples. Just when I was about to turn to look at Walter, myself and Walter showed on the Jumbotron screen. Everyone started cheering and screaming loudly for us to kiss. I was a little bit shy and at the same time anxious. Walter and I eventually kissed for the kiss cam. Guys, I never knew that kiss cam was the one that would expose my dirty secret. In that same crowd, Kate, one of my high school friends, was there. She saw me kissing a man that wasn't my husband and snapped it as evidence to show Fernando. On seeing the pictures, Fernando got so furious that he cut his trip short and came back home the next day after Walter and I went to the basketball game. I didn't know what was going on. I was surprised that my husband came back earlier than expected. I thought maybe he forgot something important and had to return back home. That morning, I was all dressed ready to go to work when Fernando showed up. I tried asking him what happened, but gave me a deaf ear and pulled me out of his way. I tried holding him back, just then he landed me a hot slap on my cheeks. For a few moments, I was trying to gain my balance. Fernando then held me by my arms and showed me the pictures of Walter and I kissing for the kiss cam. I was so shocked and surprised that I thought of who could do that. Just then, Kate drove in and met us standing. At that moment, I got my answers and knew that she was the culprit. My husband yelled so loud at me and demanded to know the stupid guy that had the audacity to kiss me in public. I was shivering and couldn't utter a word. Fernando was gripping my arm so hard that I started pleading for him to let go of me. Guys, in that heated moment, Walter showed up. Apparently, we had planned for him to come pick me up so we could head out together since my husband wasn't around. So I thought. Immediately, Walter was coming down from the car. My husband grabbed him by the collar. In less than a few seconds, 2 grown men were in a heated fight. They both got themselves injured, and Walter was the most wounded. A lot of the neighbors came around to see what was happening. Kate, on the other hand, didn't hesitate to fill their curiosity about what was going on. She spilled everything to those that cared to listen. After much intervention from the neighbors and the threat of calling the cops, my husband and Walter stopped fighting. I tried calming my husband, but he pushed me, and I went over to Walter, but he warned me not to dare come close to him. He got into his car and drove off. My husband warned me not to step foot into the house. I tried getting the neighbors to plead with him for me, but all of them turned around and went their way. My husband and Kate got into the house, and Kate slammed the door at my face. I kept on banging on the door, but they didn't respond. I called out to Fernando severally, telling him how sorry I was, but he didn't open up. The drama that played out in our compound that morning became a thing of gossip to the neighbors. The rumors kept spreading so fast. I was so ashamed. The gossip became too much that I ran to Walter's house that day to see if he could take me in because I had no place to go that day. But guess what, guys? Walter gave me another round of embarrassment at his place. He warned me never to show my face to him again. He broke up with me and told me to go back to my husband. Walter also told me how embarrassed he was by getting beaten up by my husband. His face was all covered with a lot of bruises. Fernando really got him all beaten up. Walter banged the door on me and didn't even wait to hear what I had to say. At that moment, I was heartbroken. I didn't know what to do or where to go from there. Walter was to be my last option, but he also turned his back on me. I went back home to try and plead with my husband to see if he could hear me out. But guys, he didn't. Instead, he called some men to throw me out and mounted a heavy security at the gate to restrict me from entering into the compound. Update. Hi Reddit. It's been a while since I last updated you guys. I'm sorry for keeping you guys waiting. Actually, I was trying to settle a few things out. But before I forget, Fernando and I have finally gotten a divorce. The most painful part of it all is that I didn't get anything out of it. He signed the divorce papers and sent it through our lawyer, and also gave me a warning not to even bother involving the court because it was of no use because I didn't have any money to even hire a lawyer. There was nothing I could do. He was right after all. I don't even have money to take care of myself, let alone hire a lawyer for suing him to court. I tried every means possible to plead with Fernando to have mercy on me, even if it was a little amount so I could pay up my debts. But he turned a cold shoulder and didn't respond to any of my requests. Guys, I even learned that Kate and my husband are expecting a child together. The news struck me so hard. I couldn't believe it. Fernando really moved on so fast and he had the audacity to do it with Kate. Guys, I'm losing my mind. I can't even locate where they are right now. Fernando flew into town a few days back because of the divorce and flew back immediately after it was finalized. He didn't even give me a chance to tell him how sorry I was. I know that I have hurt him deeply, of which I'm ready to pay for it, but not through a divorce. I admit I cheated, and I'm not proud of saying it. I feel so ashamed of myself right now. A lot of my clients are still on my neck to refund their money back. I am completely devastated, and even though I have tried to ease the situation, nothing is working. I have no money in my account, and I don't have anything valuable to sell that could give me some amount to pay them back. Fernando and Kate really did me dirty. I humbly regret having cheated on my husband. Sometimes I wished he could forgive me and give us a chance to be as we used to or start all over again. Honestly, guys, I really missed my husband, and I regret my mistake.